But we're right here and we're definitely looking at a screen right here on VG. Yeah. Well, a lot of times I put a lot of stuff on YouTube about my development and it's like I'm on Facebook and Facebook keeps saying, hey, do your story. My story is so big that if I give you, it'll be a book, right? We could chop around the edges and tell you guys at what time in this life that I got really interested in computers, right? We lived in Washington D.C. and we went to like junior high school, elementary, and high school and things like that. And came out of that, and for black kids in the city, we just like doing our thing. Loved music. I was in a band, so I just kept playing music and stuff like that. And I remember I was downtown Washington D.C. Back in the days, like I explained to someone, black kids, we didn't have computers those days. It was all, the Caucasian people that had the computer. But by the time it came down to me in the 80s and things like that, they started putting it in the stores, right? And the first computer I saw was a Commodore Amiga. And years after, I saw Windows and Mac. So I pretty much started in a computer where they talked about drawers, like like a drawer, right? Instead of talking about folders, right? CLI, right? And then type of stuff like that. Yeah. Well, I was about 18 years old. I went out, I bought a computer. I had my music, my little studio, right? So it's about my studio and learning about computers. And I got a little program, Dr. T music software that worked on Commodore. So, I was learning back in those days too, way back there in the 80s before any digital things or even alive, to like play music on computer, right? And so like we like the guinea pig. I had a little interest in basics in the computer. Using the CLI, and making windows and things like that. So I wanted to go further. And I created this guy named Dave that worked with Blue Ribbon Soundwork, one of the head guys there, the programmer. After I was at home, we said, black kids, we can't really go to college in time, then 18 and things. So what I did, I saved a bunch of money and I sent for a home course. And called it Computer Science Institute, right? And I got the thing I did at home studying C and C+. And after years studying a lot of stuff, I just got like really frustrated one day and I talked to the guy, who was like, yo, I know all this calculation, all this math and all this kind of stuff, numbers. I'm not really into that. I just want to make stuff like C, Windows and, things like that. Wasn't even email that time. He said, Vaughn, you have Apple Talk? And I'm like, whoa, I don't even have Apple Talk. You know what I mean? So he said, yo, cool. So he loaded up a floppy, and sent it to me, all the other stuff that I needed to know, the little tricks, how to make windows, how to like set up whole complete program, right? I love designing stuff because I did artwork, and so I became a really good results editor, you know what I mean? Like that. I did develop like a mixer board, like you see Pro Tools and everybody got there, right? On a Commodore, even before Pro Tools and all those guys was heavy ambition. We tried to really get into the development with it. It never worked out, but I guess I did that. I do a lot of stuff. But I can merely candidly say web design and web language is that yes, I was married and my wife, she decided to go back to college. So I started like hang out at the college stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like how I was going there. Anyway, she like needed really help with her homework and stuff like that. So I did all of that for her. And while doing that, I was reading the books. So really, it was really nice to me. I'm like, this is really good. And yeah, So HTML, you know, Java, JavaScript. Man, when I was doing like C, yo, Java used to always beat my brain, man. Uh, I got over to doing web programming, right? And I understood everything now about Java, the functions and everything that I was not really paying attention to when I was doing C, right? So I guess I just like to just make the interface, you know, and leave it to the other guys to like do all the functions and stuff like that. But once I got into the web development, I started working with functions, real functions, and learning more over the years. When PHP come along on the block, and you start seeing all the little, you know, test paper and stuff, you start reading the stuff as well. And I basically learned PHP on my own. I don't know how. It's like I always say, how the hell did I learn this? But I did anyway. Database was also something. Back down in the 80s, I was on bizland.com at a site, musicnetmall.com. Yes, I used to upload all the files to the site and everything. You know, when I go over and I glance at the database and stuff like that, I'm like, wow. I was still trying to like read Oracle and try to figure the thing out, right? And yeah, so I started now installing stuff in the database and learned how to do that really well. And I guess after a certain period of time of installing stuff in the database, you started reading the stuff, so you started learning more about database. So I started learning how to write database. You know what? To implement like getting pages and stuff to work with it and call the stuff out of it. I never really got there, but I took the time to really study how everything works, how you retrieve records, you know, from a database. And that was it. Now the stuff I build in database these days, I think about the actions and stuff I really want, and I create stuff like that. I did a posting system. Right now I have a posting system in smtus.com. I should do like a video thing on my social script. I have like a social script out there. It's like when you log in and you got a little light come on like Facebook and everything. You got your little people on the side and everything. It's really neat. The posting system, you can post audio, video, text, everything. You know what I mean? The posts are individualized, right? So I can go into the site and I can go look at a next user post, all their posts, and I could go over and look at everybody's posts, as long as they me and them friend, right? Just like a Facebook thing. So I do have a script like that. We're gonna like put it back on the table and redo it, sharpen some stuff on it, and I'm gonna give it away for free. So look out for vga1 social network script. I did a lot of work on that, you know what I mean? It's like a Facebook thing. I guess I'm doing stuff in PHP, and I really got to change over my work into doing some Java Node thing, right? Because I got to, get with some other programmer who more up with the Node thing and me on the PHP, and things are going to happen. But now, since I've been working with the functions I've been working with for years, and it's working okay for me so far. Because I'm in a generating program, so you're basically generating stuff. A lot of my programs right now, my script is more for someone who has knowledge of some form of web development, and they can like do stuff, right?